All right, I am back, and we are doing the Friday the 13th movie tier list. And I will eventually, once when I get everything out, I will put everything, get my opinions out there. I'll invite people if they want to come in um, and rank what they would like to rank with it. And let's get started, shall we? Let's see here. Gonna wait a couple minutes or a couple seconds. Should say replying some text messages. Okay. What's up, Hayden? How you doing? All right. I don't know who else is in here. If Trenchy, you're here, let me know. Uh, Nate, if you're in here, let me know. Um, we will get started here in a second. There we go. Got it on my phone so I can see comments. So, Friday the 13th. Get that in there. So, off the back, I'm just going to do this. I have not seen the remake. I need to. I heard the remake is pretty good. Um, it's just one of the things I just didn't get around to because I have the Blu-ray. Oh, there's John Bug. What's up, John? Part 3 is a good one. Part 3 is a very good one, and we'll get into this here. And first thing, like I said, have not seen the remake. I need to. I heard it's really good. The dude who PlayStation words plays Jason. I heard it's really good. He makes him very intimidating, which is something that I like. Kane was very good. Hey, Trenchy, very good at what he did, and Kane will always be really, 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 really appreciated as Jason. And I love how I'm getting random ads pop up on the side of these things. Can I get rid of those? Oh, I can. I can get rid of one. Yeah, I can get rid of one. I got rid of one. Okay, better than nothing. Get out of here, Pokemon. No one wants to see that. Part 4 is another good one. So we're gonna start off with Jason X. If I could work a freaking computer, that would be lovely. I don't care. X gets too much hate for no reason. It is funny. It was meant to be the final haha type, oh, he's in space. What else can we do with it type thing. And that's what it was. He went into space, killed people, and his design, Uber Jason, was just amazing. And, it was just good. And I really like, Jason X. And I like his design, and I like Kane. And, like I said, Jason X is one that a lot of people don't like. Um, and just something I wish it would get a little bit more love because it's good. Don't get me wrong, but it's not perfect. None of these. Yeah, it's a. Some people can say it's a B movie. I can agree with that. I always put a little bit above because I'm that guy that likes to give a little bit more, I guess you could say, to a movie. Um, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the kills. Really enjoyed a lot of the things. I liked how Jason looked before he turned into Uber Jason. I liked Uber Jason. And it was just a fun overall film to me. And, you know, it was just good. I didn't have any complaints. I watched it, didn't complain, just sat there, laughed, and just had a good time. Freddy versus Jason. This is a tough one for me because they didn't get Kane, and they got a dude who was like, what, your height, Nate, maybe a little bit taller. And, you know, it was weird. Um, I'm gonna put it in B because I remember watching this and I remember a lot of things what I didn't like, and a lot of it had to do with like Freddy kind of bullying Jason and the water scene where like Jason was afraid of water, and I'm just like, he's not afraid of water. He was never afraid of water. He's been in the water. He comes in and out all the time. And you know, the director didn't know what he was doing with this movie. They should have got Kane. They should have, you know, obviously in the dream state, Freddy should whoop Jason. But when they got out of Dream World, um, it is fun to watch. It is fun to watch. But when they get out of Dream World, Jason should just delay the smack down on Freddy, which he kind of did. But like, I didn't like the whole fact that they made him afraid of water. Like, he was never afraid of water. He was never afraid of water. Um, let's see. First one. The first Friday the 13th is definitely an A tier for me. Without it, we wouldn't have got the series. We wouldn't have got, you know, 10, 11 movies actually. No, 12 with Freddy versus Jason. Because there's X is 10, Freddy's 11. So yeah, 12. 12 movies. And, you know, the twist, because like I went into it. I remember when Nate showed it to me. He was like, you know, yeah, he did. He went the wrong direction with it. Because when Nate showed me Friday the 13th, I don't know if he's in here. If he is, you can speak. He was like, there's a twist with it. I'm like, well, what's the twist? It's probably just Jason. And as the movie goes on, you know, it's killing. And it's just like, whoa, what's the twist? It was his mother. I was like, what? It was his mother? I was so surprised with that. I was like, his mom was killing everybody? That made, like, just watching that just made me love Friday the 13th. Just the surprise factor. And then his mom getting her head cut off at the end, and the girl surviving, and, you know, the Jason, the little kid that drowned trying to pull her in, and it was kind of like a hallucination type thing. And it was fun. It was such a fun, good movie, and I might watch a couple of these tonight or maybe tomorrow night after work, because they're such good movies. You can't go wrong with them, except for you two ugly ducklings. But we'll get there when we get there. Part 2. Part 2 is an elite movie for me because no one really talks about Part 2 that much. And for me, Part 2 is the most underrated Friday the 13th because, like, you don't get the twist and the weird stuff, like you said, Trenchy. But you don't hear people talk about 2 as much as you hear people talk about 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or the original or even X. You just hear, like, you hear 1, a little bit about 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Freddy vs. Jason remake. 2 does not get the love that it should get because it was a backhead, bro. Backhead Jason. I have 2 backhead Jasons. Okay, I got the remake version of him with the backhead, and I got part 2 of him with the backhead figures. And they're beautiful, and like I have pretty much all the figures besides 8, 9, and X because they haven't made them. Well, they have, but they were not like what NECA does. But 2 is just, no one talks about 2, and I'm tired of people not talking about 2. 2 is good. 2 is fantastic. 2 just makes you It's good. You know, he has a freaking bag over his head. Like, what serial killer has a bag over his head? And it was just a fun movie to watch, and I was entertained by it a lot. Part 3, 3D. Um, again, another elite. Part 3 was really, really good. The kills were really good. Besides the like kind of cheesy ones that were like 3D and kind of just like, I don't see a lot of fan base for Two Trinity. I really don't. It's hard. Yeah, she was. She was. Um, I liked her. She was a good final girl. And she was fantastic. But three is obviously classic. You know, it's at three. Yeah, three's like a 3D type thing, and there was just so many good kills in three. Um, yeah, three was at the barn. I was thinking three or four. I couldn't remember. Four was at Tommy's house. Um, three definitely had good kills. It had a lot of good stuff in it. Three was just really good, and I finally found the figure of three. It took me so freaking long to find part three, Jason, and I love it. It's such a good figure. It's such a good movie. You know, he's got the hunchback. You know, he looks even more deformed than he did in two. He's different, and it's just amazing. And then that's interesting that he had a really IQ level. He was really smart. That's interesting. I never knew that. That's why you're here, Junebug. You're the guy that can educate people, and I need that. Part four. Part four is also elite. Part four, you know, was supposed to be it. You know, they kill him, and Tommy, you know, as a kid, he lost his mom, his sister almost dies, everyone there is getting slaughtered, and drugs, alcohol, everything in between, and it was just if that would have been it for the franchise, that would have been a good solid four movies. One, two, three, four. Considerably four. One could be elite, but the only reason why I don't put one elite is because it's hard for me to explain with one. But one was just there was just missing something, missing a little bit. Yeah, 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 Junebug on that. Yep. Um, but yeah, four was just oh my god, four. If four would have been it would have been perfect. Um, part five. Part five, you're gonna be last because I'm gonna talk about five the most out of this. So I'm gonna skip five. We're gonna go to six. Six was also elite. Six was pretty much, him coming back from the dead, basically being a zombie, and Tommy messed up again. Well, he didn't mess up again, but he messed up, and no one believes him because he was in five. He was in that freaking psycho thing, and people were dying left and right, and everyone thought it was Jason, but it was just some dude dressed as Jason murking people left and right. And then he goes to his grave, and he's gonna go, "Oh, I'm gonna make sure you stay dead." And it goes horribly wrong, and Jason comes back and he starts killing everyone again. And just some of the kills in there were really good. I really enjoyed it. Very, yeah, she was hot. I won't even lie, she was hot. But yeah, part six was just like them. Like when you think of Friday the 13th, to me, you think I think of 2, 3, 4, and 6 being the best four in the series. And then, you got Freddy versus Jason, you got all these other ones. But again, I want to leave 5 for last because 5 is the hot topic of this franchise. Besides these two, this one is the one that's like the biggest hot topic, I guess you could say. So part 7. Your girl can drive a Camaro. Oh my god. I love it, Junebug. Part 7, I've always had a conflicting thing with 7. Because I always, out of all design, if this was based on designs, it would be here. As a movie, it's definitely A to me. The whole thing with the chick controlling things with her mind, trying to figure out how to, stop it, was an interesting twist that they did with it. And, you know, her trying to figure out how to, do this and, get over the fact that she was probably the reason why. Part 6 is fun, Trenchy. Trying to figure out the reason why, she's trying not to blame herself because she feels like she's the reason why her dad died. And, she's there to try to get better, but then the doctor's just there to freaking cash cow on her and all that crap. And she accidentally breaks Mr. Jason out of the lake, and he's not happy to be out. He goes on a killing spree. And the one thing holding 7 back for me with it being elite was the ending of the movie. The ending made no sense that her dad came back, chained this dude up, and dragged him back down into the lake. Made no sense because her dad was dead. He can't. You're telling me he was just sleeping? Just, well, I'm alive now. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you, darling. Nah. That is the only thing holding part 7, and the fact that they had to cut some kills because of the stupid higher ups with the movies didn't like it, and they had to cut away with some of the kills, which I have actually found some of the kills that they cut, and I'm just sitting there and I'm looking at them like they're not that bad compared to now. Back then I could understand a little bit, but back further, today's standard, that's the kills back then were nothing. And it was still such a good movie. I invested in that Jason. That was my favorite Jason design, the part 7 where he's just like a freaking rotted corpse and he's got the thing around his neck, and just perfect design, good movie, terrible ending, and kills got slashed sadly. And some of the characters I did not care for in this movie, but it was cool to see. It's always cool to see Jason just kill a whole bunch of people. So we got part 8. These 3, I would say, are the biggest, I wouldn't say red flags in the series, because I don't hate any of these movies. I will never hate any of these movies, even if this one deserves it. Part 8, it's definitely a weak one. The thing everyone remembers most about part 8 is probably the fact that when the boxer dude was fighting Jason, and Jason literally just went clock and knocked his head clean off with one punch. And the boat scenes of him killing people on the boat, and in New York, even though he was in New York for not even that long. So it should have been called Jason Part 8 on a boat goes to New York, not Jason goes to New York. But it was still, I don't ask for much. Decent story, good kills, we're good. And this was another one that got hacked like part 7 with the kills. And I'm like, why? They're not that bad. The kills were not that bad. And I'm just like, you guys gotta chill. Part 9. The ugly duckling of the franchise that everybody hates besides either this one. These two, I would say, are the most hated films in the whole franchise. I would probably bet this one is more hated than this one because this one, for some odd weird reason, he gets connected to a Deadite. He's connected to Evil Dead and everything in between. It is a odd movie, but I'm not going to give it a D. I'm definitely going to give it a C. Very odd design choice for him. He can teleport into people's bodies, which I found cool. Good kills. Even if it wasn't him, it was still him possessing people. And I thought it was a decent movie. It wasn't something on the line where I'll go back and watch like if I will watch these over and over. I will watch these over and over. I will definitely watch Freddy vs. Jason a couple times. I will honestly watch this one. Yeah, Jason Goes to Hell is a very odd duckling one. I'll even watch Manhattan over and over because I do like the story and I like the kills. I just don't like the ending. Because out of all of these, I would say the one I've probably watched the most is 6, 4, and this one. Followed up by 7. No, it'd be 6, 4, and 7 with this one in the rear because I've watched 7 a lot. But this one was just weird. And the only reason why they did this was to set this up. And then this was good, but it could have been here, and it kind of wasn't. It was just kind of there. Okay. Now we get to this. Part 5. The one every single Friday the 13th person I talk to says they hate is this one and this one. And part 5 is, to me, the most. I see more hate for this than Jason Goes to Hell. And I don't know why. I really don't know why everyone hates this movie. Because to me, it's an elite movie. It has some of the best kills in the franchise. It has some of the best characters in the franchise. It has some of the best just camera work, story, everything in between with it. And it is just so hated on because it's not Jason. It's just some guy in a hockey mask. It's the same thing with Michael Myers. It's a dude in a mask. It can be anybody. Because he died in the 4th one. And then they did the 5th one to spice things up and have like a fake Jason. But to me, I love this movie. It had. Thank you, Trenchy. Thank you for being one of the smart, in my opinion, smart people to like this movie. Because if you hate this movie just because Jason isn't in it, why? It has some of the best kills, some of the best characters, and it is just fun to watch. When you're watching it, the killer was right in front of your face the whole time. You just couldn't see it. And it's a fun movie to watch. I love watching 5. I love watching 6. I love watching pretty much 3, 4, 5, and 6 in a row. Actually, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in a row, and 7. Because 7 is just it's 7. Like I said, 5 also had a bad ending with Tommy putting the mask on, was about to kill the girl, and it just cuts because it doesn't say anything with 6. We don't know what happened. Nothing is said with Tommy with 6. But as a standalone movie, if this wasn't a Friday the 13th movie, it would be a very good slasher. It's the same thing with Halloween 3. Thank you, Hayden, for also being a smart person. Because to me, it's a good movie. It's like Halloween 3. It is a good movie. you just didn't have to put Friday on it. You didn't have to put Halloween on it. They're good movies by themselves, and it's just like, dang. But this is my tier list. No D's, no D's, because in my opinion, this is one of besides Michael, one of the perfect franchises out there to me, with how these are the elite, and these technically could be elite in my opinion, with just some nitpick here and there. Same thing with this one, but I'm putting in elite to make a whole bunch of people mad pretty much. And to me, it deserves it. And we got this. Good movie. Kind of just meh to me. The two stankers at the bottom because of the ending with this one. And it getting chopped like 7 with the kills. And this one just having no direction at all with it, to be honest. It had no direction. And you have not seen you. I want to see you. I'm going to watch you probably Monday after work because I need to watch you. Yeah, that's my tier list. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. See ya.